Well, look what's out here. It's the Buick. Yes, it's been a while. This is my 2001 Buick Regal. Trying to think. I've done a bunch of videos on this. This is kind of how I started making videos a couple years back. But this car's been sitting. It's been gone. Didn't really go anywhere, but it's just been gone from, well, moving. So pulled it out and of its resting spot, and we're gonna tinker with it a little more. Honestly, don't really have to, I shouldn't say tinker with it. There's a lot of things we're gonna do with it coming up, but at the moment it's more just get it running. There shouldn't be any issues. It should fire right up, but let's find out. I think the first thing, let me open the door here. Yeah, there's a bunch of parts in here. So first thing I'm gonna do is get all this stuff out of here. This actually is all parts for the car, so I'll quickly run through what all this stuff is. But the plan first is just to get it running in this current configuration. Then we're gonna go race it. Unfortunately, Vandermeer's been gone, so we have, well, another option. Not as good, but it'll work. I shouldn't say not as good. It's still good. It's just a lot further away. So anyway, let me clean some of this stuff out of here. I'm going to do a quick run through. Okay, I got everything out of the car. It's all sitting over here, and we'll go through that in a minute, but let's do just a quick refresher on what this thing is. So, 01 Buick Regal. It is a 3800 3.8 liter V6 with a supercharger. Obviously 4-door sedan, but not like that. Well, once you see inside, not quite the same. So virtually everything has been gutted in here, except for, obviously, I still have the driver's seat. Down to the trunk and everything. So all the stock wiring's in there. It looks a little messy. But in doing this, well, I should clarify, bone stock at Vandermeer. So that's 5,800 feet of elevation plus, you know, summertime DA can be 8, 10, 12,000 feet. It's kind of crazy. But this thing did a, going off memory, 15.8. I don't remember the mile an hour. It was like low 90s, I think. But yeah, 15.8 stock. And then the first thing I did was lighten it up. Took it back to the track, and I do kind of apologize. I don't remember the different steps I went through, but lightened it up, took it back to the track. Then added a few power adders, took it back to the track. Then added a few more, took it back to the track. And anyway, all the back and forth on this. Had to go through different tires and everything. I mean, started with the stock stuff, but we got it all the way down to a 13.7, I believe, and that was end of last year. So over 2 seconds without technically cracking a valve cover. All exterior bolt-on type thing, so pretty good. But anyway, interior wise, as far as the car currently sits, obviously it's gutted. I can't remember, it was like over 700 pounds I took out of this thing. I mean, even the headliner and everything. And some of this I took out and actually somewhat put back, but it's all gutted behind there, or mostly gutted. But still has the stock driver's seat, and those things are very heavy, so that will be eventually replaced. And probably clean up some wiring and a couple other things in here. We can talk about that. But the only other really mod is the steering wheel. Just got rid of the stock steering wheel and put a Grant steering wheel. That's they don't really make a kit for this, so you kind of got to piecemeal together, but I did a video on that as well. So that's the inside. I think that's pretty much everything. As far as outside of the car, visually I tried to keep it stock. It's the whole sleeper look, but it is lowered with ZZP lowering springs, and it does have new, I don't know, some kind of performance struts on all 4 corners. It's hard to tell it's that much lowered because I actually have slightly smaller tires on it. Get to the front in a second, but when you get down here, it doesn't look, oh, the light just turned on. It doesn't look that much lowered, but if it didn't have these lowering springs, it'd be way high. So anyway, stock wheels, stock body, overall kind of stock look. That's the goal. Those are kind of narrow. I think there's like 205 tires in the back. And in the front, I ended up going with a couple different tires. Stock, then I think it's BF Goodrich drag radial. And these are Hoosier DR2 drag radials, 225 50 16. And that was done more for gearing. The gearing in this car is very long. You barely get into third gear going through the traps. So there are some options with transmission, but the easy cheap thing was to go to a slightly smaller tire, and it definitely helped a little bit. I picked up, I can't remember, but it shifts into third a little bit quicker and definitely helped the ETs. So I'm probably forgetting some things, but suspension, brakes are stock, body's mostly stock, interior gutted, and obviously most of the stuff is under the hood here. And this thing's dirty, but as you can see, it's been sitting, and Mother Nature has got pine needles everywhere. That's a common thing here in the mountains. But anyway, don't have a battery in yet, so I can't quite fire it up. Gotta charge one up here. But stock-ish under the hood, but a few modifications to really help performance. This is the 3.8 supercharged, Eaton supercharged V6, so that's how it came from the factory. It does have a ZZP cold air intake. Does have a small pulley. It's a 3.0 pulley, which is smaller than you want to run in normal driving conditions, but I usually run race gas in this. So more boost, more power. It is tuned at just a base stock style tune, but that helps a little bit as well. I do have these aftermarket ZZP dog bones that kind of rotate the engine forward a tiny little bit. It's supposed to help with traction. I don't know how much they really do, but that's the most part. I think it's it. There might be a couple small things I'm forgetting, but basically it was minimal restriction air into the engine, more boost through a smaller pulley. I mean, it's got a thermostat and plugs and all the little things that go with it. Oh, exhaust wise, I guess I didn't mention that. It doesn't really have an exhaust. It's just got a ZZP downpipe that just dumps from there. I did have a resonator after that helped with sound, so you could sort of drive it. Now it's very loud, so it's more just for racing. But yeah, so limited restriction in, limited restriction out with exhaust and intake, a little more boost with the pulley. The tune helps kind of the overall package, just does everything better. And all that made this car go from a 15.8 to a 13.7. And that's all with elevation, so you could take, I don't think you get a second, but you could get half to 3/4 of a second off those times if you're running at sea level. So you could say a low 15 to a low 13, maybe even a 12.99 if you had perfect conditions, who knows. So that's where we got to. Let's just quick talk about what we're doing next. Okay, talking about plans here moving forward. Well, I guess I should clarify, immediate plans are, well, kind of nothing. This car should run. I don't have a battery at the moment, but put a battery in it, should fire it up, and you put some fresh gas in it. But overall, as it sits here, it should run and be okay. I plan on hopefully taking it down to Pueblo this weekend and kind of re-baselining the car at its current configuration. So it did 13.7. I can't remember the mile an hour. It was close to around 100. I kind of forget. So it did 13.7 at Bandimere last year. Pueblo's a little bit lower. So I'm thinking it at least should do the same. Maybe a 1/10 or 2 better? I don't know. So anyway, that's probably the only track I have for a while. So at least that I would take this car. If I had to travel, I don't know if I'd take this. It'd be more of a big race car whenever that gets done. So yeah, immediate plans is kind of nothing. Just run the car again, see what it does at a different track, maybe a little less elevation. This doesn't make a ton of power, so I don't think track conditions matter too much with this. Obviously, it's front-wheel drive. It's technically an open diff, but at those power levels, what it's been running, I think I should be okay regardless. So that's the immediate plan. But But let's look over here, because all this junk, well, I shouldn't say junk, but, you know, stuff. I think this is most of what I've accumulated over the last couple years. Going back to, I don't even remember when I bought this car. It was 21, summer 20, I don't remember. But started accumulating parts over the last couple years. Some which have been installed, and some which have not. So let's see what we got here. Bunch of miscellaneous stuff. Mostly a ZZP turbo kit is the majority of this. Some tune-up parts. This is a pulley to remove the AC, because I did remove most of the AC, but there's still some AC components I can take out and save a few pounds in there. I think there's a what else oh, there's a transmission rebuild, kind of like a shift kit. Some hoses that I hope are actually for this kit. Some of them might be mixed up with the Cobalt SS, which would be, well, we'll find out as we go. But just a bunch of miscellaneous smaller items in here. Out here, filter, I assume that's probably from the turbo kit. I hope I didn't mix it up with something else. This exhaust pieces, so you got a new crossover. This is actually where the turbo mounts. So you have stock manifolds, or in this case, I'm going to put these tubular manifolds on, front and rear. One of them's in the box, one I have out. Around the engine, obviously front and back. It obviously sits sideways in this car, but front and back, tubular exhaust, new crossover. The turbo sits on top of this. The back exhaust has the wastegate mounted, and that's what this is. It's kind of a funky exhaust, so you're kind of, I mean, it's a cool kit. It's a little funky how the factory exhaust is with the V6 sitting sideways. So anyway, all these exhaust components. What is this? Oh, boost controller. Obviously, you regulate your boost. Just a couple axles I bought. Shouldn't really need them for a bit. Not quite in the axle braking territory, but just a couple spares. This here is the intercooler portion of the turbo kit. Intercooler here itself. Some kind of probably return. Actually, I haven't looked how it works. I'm guessing maybe intercooler's here and then it loops back or something like that. Wastegate. So that'll be on the intake tubing, which is hopefully here somewhere, or maybe it's in the, I don't know. Hopefully I have it all. Wait, this is the wastegate. Where's the blow off? Oh, there it is. Okay. So wastegate mounts on the exhaust, obviously regulates boost. Blow off here mounts on the intake side, just to remove the excess boost and let off the gas. Does have a new turbo specific downpipe. I don't know what I'm going to do about this. I don't know how I'm going to route the turbo. So this will be interesting to see when I put this on and what I want to do with that. And then obviously turbo itself, I think it's a 62. So smaller size, but I don't know, 500 plus horsepower that thing would take. It'll be braking axles, transmissions well before that thing's maxed out. So over here, kind of some interior stuff. I do have some lightweight seats. I'm going to put at least obviously the front two in there. Those are just some brackets, more weight savings. I might be missing a few things. I have some Cobalt SS stuff that's in the garage that maybe is mixed up, but in general, the primary thing is obviously turbo kit. So get this car down the track again, see what it does. I don't know if I'm going to do this in stages or all at once. I haven't quite figured it out, because there's a little bit of lowering, or not lowering, well, maybe someday if I put coilovers on it. There's a little bit of lightening left to do on this. Not a lot. I think it's currently just over 3,000 pounds. I'd have to look at the old video. I think it was like 37, 38 when it was the original configuration. So I don't know. I may break this up into a couple pieces and try to get running. And I don't even know if it'll all happen this year with all the various things I'm trying to do moving forward in the last half of the summer. But for the most part, this is what I have. And this is where it's going. So, yeah. As of now, like I said, we're just going to run it. Get a new number. And then, yeah, I probably should wait. I don't know how I should do this, because I assume they have their own scales down there. I don't know, but I want to keep weighing and see what's like the minimum weight I get to. Probably adding a few extra pounds with some of the stuff, but not too much. Just all in the nose, so that'll help in this case because of traction. But anyway, yes, this really isn't a wrenching video per se because I want to just get the car out. Yeah, so Buick's back. Technically never left, but it's been sitting around for way too long, so let's go race it, and we'll go from there, and then we'll start messing with all this stuff. So that's going to be it for now. So, yeah, a few more videos coming up with, well, hopefully some results of whatever it does, and then put some more parts on. So, yeah, I think that's it. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.